No?
We're live.
Hello, everyone. Good morning to Brazil. Good evening to the Philippines and to Australia. We are here with our colleagues, faculty members, and residents from the St. Paul's University in the Philippines and our Professor Surajit from Australia. Very nice to have you all with us.
Can I put the countdown?
You can.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? This is a global transmission. Hayek will be live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy the show.
So it's an honor to have you all with us this morning or this evening. And I think we could start out introducing ourselves, so everyone may know who we are and what we are doing. And then in a second moment, we'll talk about the COIL project and what we can do together and what we will offer to our students. So who, Sister Mercedes, would you like to start? Seems like your
My
microphone.
internet is slow. Okay.
Would you like to start introducing yourself?
My internet here is slow. I'm in the convent, but I can hear you.
Wonderful. It's great to have you with us. If your internet at some point allows for it, then you can introduce yourself. So let's go ahead with Jeremy then, if your internet is better.
Good evening in Brazil, and good evening in the Philippines and in Australia, and good morning in Brazil and in the West. I am Jeremy Morales. I am the Director for Internationalization at St. Paul University, Philippines, and I am very happy and excited with this COIL project that we are conducting, so that we would be able to effect better transformation and more skills learning for our students.
That's exciting. Who else do we have here? We have Evelyn and Charta and Agrippina. Who wants to go ahead? And Surajit, of course.
Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pina Maribay, the Vice President for Academics and Quality Assurance. Thank you. The kids, come na the kids.
A blessed day, everyone. I am Evelyn Laksamana Paking. I am the Dean of the School of Arts, Sciences, and Teacher Education, and I'm very excited with this partnership.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Charito M. Guillermo, the Dean of the School of Business, Accountancy, and Hospitality Management.
Surajit, do you want to go ahead? We cannot hear you. Your mic is off.
You're muted, Surajit.
Sorry, I had muted myself. Sorry. All right, so good day, as we would say in Australia. So that would cover day, morning, evening, afternoon, whichever part of the world we may be in. So it's a pleasure and honor to be interacting with this group here. And it's an honor for me personally to be associated with Hayek as well as with St. Paul's University as well going forward. And eagerly look forward to this COIL project, which I think is quite an exciting opportunity for youngsters and us as adults as well to leverage technology and, being in different parts of the world, to be connected and to add value, not just in the terms of education and content, but also to take something into our future world. For the youngsters, I think it's a great opportunity from coming out of their textbooks and learning something practical, having that intermingling of culture, intercultural intermingling, which I think is very important. We as individuals, not just as students while we are learning, but also to be more productive and to be contributing to the world as a whole. So yes, quite excited to be part of this team and look forward. Thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful. Sister
Hi
Mercedes, now you
everyone.
can talk.
I'm Sister Mercedes. Can you hear me? One. I'm Sister Mercedes Ang. I'm very excited about this partnership between Hayek Global College and St. Paul University Philippines. This will students and teachers from different parts of the world and be able to discuss on relevant topics which are really very informative and very useful in contemporary times. So I'm very excited about this project.
And it's
Thank you.
wonderful to have you. Edson, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Sure, just quickly. My name is Edson Agati. I'm executive director of Hayek and also a professor. And I'm also humbled to be with this amazing group of people and literally talking all across the world, right? We're in different parts of the world right now talking to each other. And it's amazing to be able to do this.
Well, it's an honor and it's wonderful to be with you all this evening here on this live. And we are here to talk about the COIL project that Surajit has built together with the faculty members and of St. Paul's University. Just to make sure that everyone knows what is COIL. COIL is Collaborative Online International Learning. Usually, these are projects that take around 3 to 8 weeks. It depends on what faculty members come to agree with. They can be embedded or not within a specific course. And in our case, we have the COIL project embedded in Surajit's course at Hayek, but an interdisciplinary activity at St. Paul's University. And I'm very excited to know more about this project. So who would like to start telling us a little about what you have been planning and building so to involve students in real-world applications and in intercultural exchange?
Regarding the time frame, so more or less, when are we going to start so that we can already enlist the students who will participate, and then we can advertise about this in our official network?
So the semester start in Brazil is on February 17th, and if I'm not mistaken, please Surajit correct me, but the COIL project is scheduled starting off week 10, something like that. Is that correct? So week 10 would be probably in April, something like that.
March and Aprilish, yes, correct.
Okay. So we will be starting in March, April. We make sure to communicate the start date together with the sharing of this video. But let us talk a little about what you're going to do, what you're planning to do.
May I request?
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of the project, basically, I think we had put together in consultation with the faculty members quite a unique project to start off with, the first COIL project with both the institutions, like where we are trying to build an edu-connect. Basically what we saw, and this goes back, if I am to step back, during the COVID days, during the COVID times when everyone was locked out and there was no communication amongst people. So that has taught us as a humanity a big lesson. So and in the education as well has been a part of that lesson learning journey within the education. So, and this COIL has given us that opportunity that, okay, we are doing COIL in one sense, but then through COIL, what can we do? So that, like, heaven forbid, if this kind of situation we get confronted with, how how can students continue learning? That's one. The second bit is why just COVID? Even if, for the remote areas, and this is something which is very close to my heart. My research topic in my doctorate is also with remote Australia. So when we talk of remote locations, we forget, we can't for us, we can't seem to live with our life without looking into the internet, without looking into our mobile devices, our handheld devices. But how much do we think about people who are in the remote locations? The basics, the struggle for their basics in life. So what can we do to bring those remote locations together? So that is one thought which basically triggered off this particular topic that we've put together, where we are looking at a global project management for EdTech revolution. So basically, it's a theme where we are talking about managing a project. So by project management, we mean it will have a whatever activity we are doing, and I'll come to that bit, or what activity we will be doing. But here we will be having a start date, as Hannah was mentioning. So we will have a start date, we will have an end date, which means it's a project. There would be resources involved, which means it's a project. These resources would come from interdisciplinary areas, which means it's a project. We have different stakeholders in the engagement. And then end of the journey, we would all be, as a team, as a project team, we would be moving towards a target, which is the objective, which is the final outcome which this project is supposed to deliver. And what is that outcome? That outcome is basically we are trying to bring a cross-cultural team for educational technology implementation. So it's a tool that we will be putting together. It'll just be, mind you, it'll just be a dummy, a mock, but then it will be done in such a way that should in any discipline in the IT department they wish to take this model and make it into a live project and make this actually a tool, they will be able to make that tool as well. So that's the whole purpose. So we will be looking at it from on that period of 3 to 4 weeks, whatever period we have put together, that we are not just delivering a project, but then there is a definitive outcome out of it, which is we will be making a deliverable of a possible tool which can be leveraged by the IT department of either of the universities or anywhere else, and take that forward to be as a tool where students will be able to communicate amongst themselves in the remote locations, the where we would endeavor to see where the internet bandwidth usage is much lower than typically it would. So that would be a technical challenge, and that would be a challenge which will be for the technical team. There would be challenge for the with regards to the content, and there we will be having the team who will be coming from the humanities background to put together a content which would be meaningful. So that way we will be covering all the disciplines which would be there. So this is just a 50,000 top level view that I'm mentioning. There are those nitty gritties. I don't want to get into them right at this stage, but I think it's going to be quite an interesting topic that we have all put together. So, yep, look forward to that.
And it's something that Sister Mercedita said about or told us about would be also important for the Philippines, right? You have uh, um, some remote places in the Philippines where you need to get high quality education to. Could you tell us a little bit
Yes,
more
we have
about that?
students who are in remote places.
Maybe if your internet is not
Hello.
working out, maybe
Can,
Evelyn or Charito or Jeremy or Agripina can also contribute, telling us a little bit more about that.
Yes, the topography of the places where our learners come from is diverse. Many come from the city centers, and while many also come from remote areas where facilities and resources, including internet resources, would be scarce or would be low or limited. That is why this COIL project, where our students will be involved in, would be helpful for them to develop tools, materials, and resources which can be brought to these areas so that other learners would be able to um, get in touch with the educational system, and so that they can also work together in order to foster the educational level that they have.
Go ahead, Edson.
yeah, just complementing. We have remote areas in Australia. We have remote areas in Philippines, and we also have remote areas in Brazil. Right, Brazil has a big rainforest here. There's a lot of native civilization who live in Brazil and scattered all across. So it's a major issue that the countries have to deal with in each of these contexts. And I believe it's a fantastic project for our students to understand that the world is more similar than we're different in the end of the day, and our problems are very similar. If we can solve a problem here in Brazil, it can be went to Australia and vice versa, and Philippines. So I believe this is a major learning that I see here is that we can see how similar we are, right? Despite being very different and be sitting across the opposite sides of the world, how our problems are similar, and we can all work together to make the world a better place in the end.
That's a wonderful insight, Edson. I was thinking just about also the global development goals, where access to high quality education and partnership for the goals is very important in terms of doing partnerships or building partnerships so you can get access to high quality education. I think something that's close to our hearts in Brazil, in Australia, and in the Philippines. Uh, Actually, in many countries in the world, right? And then we have also help me out here, Evelyn, Charito, and Agripina. I think got out of the call, but you are from the science and education department, and one is from the business department, right? So it's interesting to see that we are not only working interculturally, as Suraj had said, but we are also working interdisciplinary. So Evelyn, would you like to contribute something about the project from your point of view?
Since our students are future teachers, I believe that this partnership will give opportunities for our students to be immersed with other perspectives from other parts of the world, not only here in the Philippines. And this is also an opportunity for them to share our culture with the other members of the other country.
Thank you. Thank you. Charito, do you want to tell us something from your perspective?
Yeah, yes. Since our students are in the business management area, then I believe their contribution to the project would be on the business side, like in the preparation of the reports, okay, and in terms of coming up with the budget, if ever there is a need for such, okay, given that there will be an output expected from the members of the team, okay, then that would be the part where our students could come in.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
sorry, Ms. Charito, but to enlarge, because I couldn't stop myself from the business management perspective, you can also, your students could potentially be looking at taking this and, developing this as a product, and then to take it forward, like which could go far into your business management area, into marketing, into sales,
Yeah.
how you can get this trademark patented, how you can sell it, how you can product market
Mm-hmm.
it. So it can, like, go into the length and breadth and depth of business management as well, and not
Mm-hmm.
just IT. So it could be a far reaching impact in your department.
Yes, yes. Yeah, because we have operations management, we have the marketing, we have the finance side and the
There we
accounting,
go. There we
and
go.
also the entrepreneurship. Yes.
Yes.
That's so exciting. It's a project that's impacting so many students, and when it's growing, when it's being developed, then it can impact the communities around us, right? How you see that impact by the learning outcomes that you're proposing for the students? Like, I mean, you're expecting that the students are getting to some learning during the project, and that should have an impact on them, right? Go ahead, Sister Mercedes.
We really prefer that while studying, the students will also be engaged in real life projects wherein they can work on, so that part of the learning outcome will be the input of creativity of the students, and there will be tangible or concrete output so that they can demonstrate that they have really learned, and then that will be concrete indicators of the learning outcomes. What do you think? So that it will be useful. So they will be in Brazil, they will be in the Philippines, they will be in Australia, and we can also have some participants in other countries later, and wherever they are, while undertaking the COIL classes, they will also be um, coming up with a group project, and
Yeah,
then
can
in the
I?
culminating activity, they will present the output and then application of their learning.
Go ahead, Edson. I left my mic off because I saw that you want to talk.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead.
Yeah, no, I thank you, Sister Mercedes, for your insights. I really agree with that. And just to complement, so often it's hard for universities to get out of the books and do something practical, especially when we're talking about international business. So we might learn from a textbook, what is it like to do business here from Brazil, right? What is it like to do business in Australia? What is it like to do business in the Philippines? How do people interact? How do people negotiate in the Philippines? But then it's a totally different thing if we actually get a project where we get a student from Brazil, a student from the Philippines, and we get them to work together, and intermediated by a professor also who is from Australia, right? Something very unique. And they actually learn with each other. So they have a deadline. They have to give a presentation. They have to negotiate how the presentation is going to be like. No, put this, put that. And one thing is to network and shake hands with people and get to know each other and know their names. Something else is to have a commitment with accountability to turn things in, and doing that across the world, it's very powerful. It's a learning that really gets out of textbooks and go to the real life, which is where the world is going right now. The world is digital. The world is very small, and people, it's really skills for the time being in the future, and real life skills, as Cesar Merceditos is saying.
Can we have a poster to advertise to the students? We will be interested if you can come up with, Hannah, if you can come up with a poster, and then we will advertise to the students. We will upload in the media. And then how is that? They will register. The curriculum was already laid down by Mr. Rajit, and then it was very clear and comprehensive. We would like to come up with an infographic, so sort of flyer, and we can upload in the social media, and the students will have an idea. It will be appealing to them. They will be interested to participate. What do you think? We will come up with a common. You will advertise there in
Absolutely.
We will advertise here also in the Philippines.
Absolutely, we'll do that. We'll work on. I'll follow up with an email after the live with you, and then we're working on the poster. Yeah. Just to come back to what you both were saying about the real life application. I think another point here that's worth mentioning is that all the COIL project is very student-centered, right? So students are being protagonists of their learning process, and not only a learning process that is related to business or IT or education, so the areas that they might come from, but it's a learning process that is connected to working with an interdisciplinary team, and it's a learning process that's connected to working with an intercultural team. So I think that's very exciting. Do you have any final thoughts about the project? Something that you want to share in the last? I think we have 5 more minutes for the slide.
I really find this interesting. In fact, we will have the worry for 2025 here in the Philippines. So I think we can have this as one of our entries. This is very interesting. If we can, whoever will be the organizer, we can present in a panel or Hannah, I remember you presented in Lugano in the panel, and it was so interesting.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah, I was going to, start the slide talking a little about how we got to know each other. I remember that we saw each other briefly in Florida, but we had much more contact in Lugano because we were together on these discussion boards. And then I remember also the universal adapter. It's not only what's in the universal adapter that we're saying connecting the dots, we're actually doing it. Any other thoughts?
Hannah?
Go ahead.
Yes, this project would be very helpful to our students in honing their real life skills, because imagine they would be dwelling much into doing needs analysis of what the community people would really desire to have for their lives, for the betterment of their lives. And of course, the process, the procedure is very important because the students will be students from different countries and different programs would be working together in coming up with a project plan, in developing a project, so that they would be able to solve real life problems. That's why we are very eager for the start of this project, and we invite our students to join this COIL project between our among our three universities, so that they would be able to really hone their skills and make a good impact in the world, even while they are studying, and more so after graduation from the university.
That's a good point. We are also excited to have our students take this COIL project and equally expect them to develop real life skills and to connect and have meaningful connections with students from St. Paul's University. Please go ahead, Agrippina.
I'm
We
sure
cannot
the students
hear
will be
you.
so excited about this.
Yeah, your mic is shut. You need to open your mic, Agrippina.
It's closing automatically. Okay. So the COIL project, as I see it, will provide the students from the different parts of the world and from the different programs of studies. One good thing now, because this will provide them very good opportunities to come together, to learn together, to share their experiences with one another, and then come up with a collaborative project which they will find very meaningful because it is something real, and it will be a very good application of the learnings, or of the concepts that they have learned together, because they'll be coming up with one project, an interdisciplinary project, from coming from the different programs, and then come up with one very significant project, as an output from the learnings that they had, as they learned together and sharing their experiences together.
Absolutely. Anyone else wants to give some closing remarks?
Now, maybe I'll just extend to what Mr. Jeremy was saying a while back. While we go towards the outcome, the process is also equally important. And this is one thing in this project that the students we would be endeavoring to learn as a real life thing, that life is short, the project will also be short. There is an outcome that we are all be moving towards, and there would be process that needed to be followed, and that's life. Life is short. We are all running towards an outcome, our old objective, our old goal. But then we need to be mindful that there is a process that we follow. And this is exactly what this project is all about and will be about.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so excited for this project to start. We make sure that we share more information on the poster, as Sister Mercedes was suggesting. And it will be wonderful to have the students working together on this project. And it's wonderful to have you all in this live, and hope you have a great, almost great end of the week ahead.
Thank you all. Have a lovely, lovely weekend ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Lovely
you.
weekend
Bye-bye.
and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.